Hello friends, it's Armstrong here from Other Miniatures, and today we're gonna be finishing this truck. I know it looks finished, but it isn't. So yeah, the video gonna be probably quite simple because I already have majority of the things prepared. Yeah, we just need to plonk it together. So yeah, let's build some military truck. Well, I'm gonna show you because that military truck was built for me before I even started making videos for Wastelands. So I'm gonna explain how I built it, and then we're gonna add the other stuff that I want to add to it. Let's have a quick chat about this entire truck. So these are actually two trucks built together. So if you want to have a look in here, this is the front of the European style truck. I just bought it in the pound shop for like, I think it was like 150 at that stage. Yeah, and then this is one of the Hot Wheels truck, but only up to here. Like I wanted to have like American or Australian style truck, with the long front, but there was really nothing interesting that I could find in the stores. So I got basically just cut off the front of the truck. This is actually a top of that truck, so you can imagine how small it actually was. And splice it together. The front was too short, so I added just a piece of plate in here. And then added those, extra little gibbons. In here we have a horn from How to Train Your Dragon Happy Meal. Added, and then I use one of those jewelry chains to put in here. This, I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue where this come from. Yeah, there's like a little bit of plastic cards built up, to build the base of it, and then this comes from something, I don't know, somewhere. The boxes in here are just pure plastic card, the same as those little, armor or whatever they are. Yeah, the pipes, just plastic card pipes. This is a guitar string. And of course the wheels are actually original from the trucks. So I didn't do anything with the wheels. But yeah, and of course we have armor meshing in the window. So that truck was basically built by me 5-6 years ago. It was just sitting and collecting dust for years, never shown on the video, never done anything with it. So I'm thinking it's time to actually finish it. Yeah. So I shown the little rocket. Yeah, well, not that little if you compare it to that truck. Yeah. And I was thinking, why not finish two builds? Like, I still can make it detachable from the truck, but I want to mount it on the truck. And then when you look at this, that would be kind of silly, yeah? Just having it sit like that. It should be, at least pointing at something. So yeah, and talking about build of this rocket, I'm gonna very briefly explain what I did. So this is just like a yogurt cup. Then I put the plastic art squares on the bottom. The center is actually 3/8 of an inch or half an inch pipe, plastic pipe. Again, a lot of squares, a lot of thick plastic art. This is actually a model sprue. And then, we just gribble it up. These are green stuff pipes. I have no clue where is my pipe maker at this stage. A lot of, squares, and, if you can look in here, a lot of soda and super glue. It is discolored because, again, this is from 2021, maybe 2022. And then green stuff and a lot of clothing pins as rivets, because I find them actually better scale than this kind of rivets. But yeah, so now what we're gonna do to it, because it looks finished, but we can make it better. We can make it maybe not faster, but better, definitely better. So I scratch built those trucks. Yeah, there is only one problem. I needed to put like two pipes next to each other because they wasn't meeting and I didn't want to have a gap. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give it a back tracks, and I'm just thinking, how to mount those trucks, because there is a lot of possibilities of mounting trucks on the truck. Whatever. I'm thinking like that, and then we need a platform. Yeah, so I made that platform, just piece of plastic card, another piece of, you know, textured plastic card on top, and you can see that I'm shedding more than my dog. Yeah, and we're gonna put it in here. So we're gonna start from this. Yeah, just glue it in here. Where is my super glue? I'm sorry, my desk is disaster like always, and I don't even want to talk about that. I lost it. Okay. I think that I have it like a small container. Ah, there it is. Okay, found it. Now, thinking sometimes help when you build stuff. So I want to mount it in here. Yeah, so I can feel that the connection point is definitely this pipe. This pipe, not really, because they are, if you look at that, they are actually at two different heights. Ever so slightly, but it is, you know, when you work with plastic art, you can feel that stuff. So the connection point is going to be only here at the edge and where the hitch is, or what we call it, fifth wheel. I think it is called fifth wheel. Yeah, so that's the two connection points. Let me just grab a file and give it a little bit of cleanup so the super glue actually gonna connect better. We're gonna do this in here, this in here, and we're gonna glue that platform in place. There we go. So now it looks like a long bed truck, which, you know, not really what I was going for. And now we're gonna give it, when we're gonna give the trucks, it's gonna basically make it work. Yeah, right now it looks weird, but I have a plan. Yeah, so please stay with me. Yeah, I'm not completely demented, just ever so slightly. Yeah, so there we go. So that's our launching, you know, manipulator that could rotate our rocket. So as you can see, if we mount it in here, yeah, it's gonna allow us to rotate the rocket. And I prepared those half circles. I just cut them with, I cut a full circle with this and then folded in half, so I have a little bit thicker plastic card, because, you know, there is a limit that those hole punches can cut through. And about 0.2 mil or whatever it is, yeah, half a mil, because I think that would be a millimeter thick, is roughly a limit of it. Yeah, and then we have this little piece of pipe to work as our launching pipe. So now I have a little bit of a dilemma, because I need to mount it somehow and I don't have a clue how. So we're gonna start from this, and I'm gonna triangle like that, and I'm really hoping that I don't gonna have to break it in a few minutes. So we have one. Now let's try the other one. And that's gonna be the test of me being exact or not really. Okay, it's not perfect again. Now is it better? Feels a little bit better. Okay, and now we just have to get this glued together. So let's just go with that. And now the rocket. Okay, that's a problem. I cut the pin way too short. So the rocket is just going loop, loop. That's not a problem. We're gonna fix that in post-production. And now let's just look which way the truck's gonna look best. It's gonna be this way, or yeah, that way gonna be best. That's gonna be the best way. That was the planned way, but still, you know, I wanted to see how it's gonna look after I start gluing stuff together. So where is the contact points? Actually, the wheels on the truck are contact point. So it's not bad. So we have one wheel. That's what I get for using too much super glue. I want to keep that cutting mat for at least next couple of days, yeah? So I will try to keep it somewhat clean. It doesn't feel like it's gluing correctly to anything. Yeah. Let's just try to maybe push it a little bit further. Come on. Nope. Doesn't want to play ball with me. We're gonna try it this way then. We're gonna glue it to that front and then to whatever else is touching. So a little bit in here and a little bit in here. It burns my eyes. Freaking super glue fumes. Whew. They are horrible. So we're gonna just do this again, this, and probably around here, and put it down. And nope, that's too far. Go back. That's the right point, and let's just give it a little bit in here. Yeah, I didn't expect that that's gonna be so loose in here that the rocket wouldn't actually hold. Oh, okay. Now let's be smart about this, because I still want to have this removable. This is gonna fit. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna cast that rocket at some stage and, you know, start making castings of it so I can, you know, post it online and sell it. So that's it, and now, oh, that feels so much better. So we have a Intercontinental ballistic missile something, yeah? It actually works, and I think that it looks awesome. Yeah. Of course, once the truck's gonna be holding. Yeah, so I'm gonna be back after I have this black bumped, yeah, or green bumped or whatever. Yeah. So everything is somewhat dry. I have in here Absolution Green, and that's what we're gonna use for the cab. As you can see, I did do paint jobs, well, on different parts of the car, you know, different colors, because of course the white is better as an undercoat for lighter colors, when the black is good for the dry brushing with the metallics. So just, you know, we want this to keep this as a military truck, so green cab it is. I don't know that painting this with the speed paint first was a good idea, because, you know, then dry brushing can smudge it around. But I already committed, so that's too late. Let's do this. I didn't think that they have these parts of the engine and stuff like that to paint later on with the dry brushing, so yeah. And the back of the cap. Alright, so this part is painted. And now as well I want to paint in the green those parts of the other truck, you know, just to tie it together. So the fenders in the front. I'm trying to leave the chain quite clear. Later on I'm gonna come back with the metallic paint on top of it. Though in my opinion it already looks good. I was expecting that I'm gonna go over with some other paints by accident, so that's perfectly fine. And I think that that's all of the green that I'm gonna be using on this. Now the other color we're gonna be using, there we go, Sachel Brown. Instead of making those cases around green as well or metallic, I decided that they're gonna be, well, wood. So just Sachel Brown on top of that. I know that there is no texture, yeah, but you know, like plywood and stuff, you know, doesn't really have texture if it is laminated correctly. So let's just do this very quickly. I haven't actually picked up any bleach bone color for the dragon horn, but yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be this. As you can see with the speed paints, everything is just going quickly, like always, which I like. Yeah, because I'm a lazy painter and I'm not ashamed to admit to it. And I was just thinking, you know, to tie that entire rocket into my Orcs clan. So we're gonna go with the Zell of Yellow from Army Painter Speed Paints, of course. And we're just gonna apply it liberally on the surface of the rocket. We're gonna be excluding the back of it because I want it to be this black and white pattern, and the dry brushing did actually bring out the top squares, so I don't really have to think about messing with it. And of course I have to spill the yellow on the squares where I didn't want it to be, but yeah. And we're just gonna pick up a couple of other colors, like those pipes on the rocket. We're gonna pick them up in red later on. And, you know, because this was first painted black and then dry brushed, you know, in between those pipes there is not actually a white shining through, so it's a nice thing for making this a quick paint job. Of course I need more paint. Yeah, that's the thing about the speed paints. You apply so much of them that they actually run out fairly quickly. So if you are, you know, if you want to save on your paints, you should probably buy normal paints. Because the speed paints, as good as they are not for people who want to save money in the hobby. Okay, and the last of the wings, and we need to cover this as well. I didn't even close the paint because I knew that I'm gonna need more. I'm just always afraid that I'm just gonna put too much and then I'm gonna waste a ton of the paint for no reason. So I rather pour too little and just keep on adding. And if anyone was wondering, that's the real time. I don't really think that anyone is really expecting me to speed up stuff if I don't say, time for a montage anymore. And we're gonna go with this. Even that ring that I was thinking about painting metallic, I'm actually gonna paint the yellow as well. And then the tip of the rocket goes into yellow. I wanted to look like a hammered metal, because I wanted this to be a orcish rocket, so yep. And there we go, that's our yellow parts. It was a fairly quick paint job so far. Oh, of course I will have to miss one of those pylons here, whatever you would call this. Double checking, I think that's all right. Stay like that, don't fall. Alright, now we need a metallic paint, and of course for that we have the Mithril Silver, because it is irreplaceable paint in my arsenal. Well, it would be replaceable after I run out of it, because then I'm gonna use a different metallic paint. But at this moment, it's perfect, yeah? So we just grab a big brush, wipe it out, and we start from the, launching platform, which technically if you launch the rocket from this, it could be counted then as a cannon. Yeah, because it looks like cannon, so I don't really have a problem with that. Yeah, so very quick and dirty dry brush of the metallic surfaces. And I'm gonna try to dry brush those pieces in here without messing up the green paint job. Hopefully it's gonna work. It seems like it, and then the front actually looks metallic enough. The pipes are good. Just double checking everything. All right. Oh, I forgot about little pieces in here, those armor platings. I want them in metallic. Of course, I pick up a little bit of green, so yeah. Let's just do it like that. And then this front as well. And the chains, that's gonna be oh, okay, I'm not too bad with that. I was thinking that that's gonna be a messy job, but it actually works. Okay, so we have that picked up as well. Easier than I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting myself to mess up at least 3 times on that, and have to go back and forward. But yeah, thanks God I didn't. Now, what do we need? We need a blue paint. We need a blue paint for the windows. And do I have any of the speed paints in blue? Nope. Oh, this is Runic Grey. It is kind of a bluish color. We're just gonna paint those 2 side windows. I don't need too much of a paint, just 2 dubs of it. Well, it's actually more of a grayish, but let's do it. Let's leave it as it is. All right, so that's it. And what do we need more? We need our red paint for the pipes on the side of the rocket. So let's close this. Sorry. A little bit of chaos, as usually with me. So I need a little bit of red for those, 12. Am I right? 3, 12, yes. 12 pipes on the side. Yeah, if I don't gonna mess it up, it's gonna be a easy peasy paint job. Oh, that's the orange pile up. They look like a red blob on the bottom of the wing. I don't know whether you can see it, but in here there is like a pile up of the paint. Okay, come on. This one doesn't really behave like speed paint. It's a little bit too viscous. But, you know, I may not be used to the red because I don't paint too much with it so far. Okay, so that's pretty much the rocket done. The car is pretty much done. I'm just looking if I have any kind of a bleached bone for that dragon horn. I know that I had a bottle of bleached bone. Nope. Yes, polished bone. There we go. And I think that I found better blue. Where was that? Yes. So we're gonna fix that. So bleach bone for the dragon bone. It doesn't really taint the color too much from the white, so it's a nice little taint. So let's just add it here. It looks very nice, and I like this, you know, that they have trophy of, you know, killing some sort of a monstrosity. That was the entire idea when I was building this truck, you know, that they are more of a monster hunter than actual, you know, anything else. And it was fun. It was, like I said, I built that truck before I started making Gasland videos. That's at least what I think, because that was so long ago. But this poor truck, you know, was just collecting dust for years, and then last I decided to show it off, and, you know, why I wouldn't finish it. So yeah, let's get way too much paint on the palette and finish those windows properly, because I didn't like how they turned out with the gray. Okay, one, and I hope that I'm actually showing anything, not covering everything with my hand. And number two. All right, so that's pretty much it when it comes to painting. I don't gonna be doing any distressing. I think that this one is good enough. Like maybe some weathering a little bit. Let's try that. Now, what do I need for weathering? I need some browns. I know that I have this. Oh, sorry, I have this in here, crackstone, which I've been using for a while now. But it works, so why not? There we go. That's definitely Citadel paint, because it is a little bit too viscous for the bottles. And that's what I'm saying, you know, transferring Citadel paints to the bottles for me seems like a waste, because I don't feel that I'm getting the money out of it then. So that's the wheels in here. Now we're gonna dirty this side up. Not too much, because those paints are probably still drying. This is gonna get dirtied up. And then the trucks. Give it a little bit. That's fine. A little bit in here. And let's pop this on. Okay, now it's definitely needs some drying time, yeah? So I'm gonna allow it to dry, and then I'm gonna throw it on the spin table. So here it is, finished, and I think when my spin table battery is dying, it's slowing down. Yeah, but we have a intercontinental missile launch truck, I guess, and I couldn't be happier about it. It look awesome. Yeah, it have a trophy, and it have trucks and a giant missile. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably my favorite build this year so far. So yeah, if you like this video as well, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and all of that crazy shenanigans. And everyone have a great day and take care. Bye bye.